Hello. So you decided that you want to have weight loss surgery. Now what do you do? Well, step number one, let's find a doctor. Now, for me personally, I decided to go through my insurance company to have them recommend someone for me. Usually this is lower cost, easier time getting approved, and it'll take you to places that has the lowest cost. Now, for me, that was a big thing. I'm not made of money. So I was looking forward to do this at the lowest cost for in-network. So I reached out, and Dr. Hannah here in Las Vegas was actually their recommended, which was perfect because he is one of the best surgeons that we have here in the Valley. So perfect, I got my doctor. Now, step number two, gotta get a consultation. So I decided to have this done in 2020, July 2020. And as you know, the pandemic was kind of, still going on. Nobody was really having anything face to face. So I was kind of skeptical about when I'd be able to actually get it done, but I wanted to see what my options are. So I shot an email off to them, and to my surprise, they reached right out and they set up a video conference with the doctor after I, submitted my application for everything. So, or all my information, my insurance and whatnot. So after that, the appointment was set up. So I have step two done, got my consultation. During the consultation, make sure you have all questions you want. If you're not like me and you didn't Google and watch videos and beforehand, if you're not quite sure, what you're wanting to go in, if you think a gastric sleeve would be best or even gastric bypass, or what other options you were looking for, just make sure this is the time to get all of your options from the doctors. So by the end of the conversation, me and the doctor decided that I was a good candidate for a gastric sleeve and that we're going to go through all the process to get approved. Now that is a lot. So after our video chat, he sent me over to his office people. I gave them all of my information, and now we had to wait to see what Aetna wanted. So a week later, they called me back and started setting up all of my appointments that I had to do. I had to have cardiac clearance, I had a psych eval, I had to have an upper GI, I had to also have a EKG, and I also had to have a sleep apnea, which is just a questionnaire. I didn't have sleep apnea. That's kind of just what they want to know. But just, getting that phone call, it was, kind of intimidating. That's a lot of things you have to do before you can even, because this doesn't guarantee approval. This is just, you submitted to see if they'll let you. So, but, I had, going through this, I had adapted. The time is going to happen. It's going to pass regardless. So why not try? At this point, I was 290 pounds. I was knocking that 300 door. I'm like, I will kind of do anything at this point. Let's get this going. So at the end of October, mid-November, I had accomplished everything. We're done. I had to do a lot of these. A lot of them were through the video chats, my psych eval. You also have to see a nutritionist a couple of times, so there's steps to get here. But once I only had to see the doctor 3 times. Now, keep in mind, that's just through my insurance. Some, they go from 3 months to a year. So these were just specific steps for my personal insurance. But from what I've seen, they're all kind of the same. Some people want something different, maybe a little different paperwork. But generally, you have to be you need to be healthy enough to survive the surgery, it seems. They want to make sure that your heart is strong enough, that you're mentally there, because I'll get to that, because mentally it is a train wreck afterwards, but worth it. You just need to be able to cope. So I finished everything around November, and then they gave me a surgery date in January. But if you're a person on earth, the pandemic in January hit Vegas really hard. So we got all hospitals closed down their surgery centers. So it got pushed back. But it actually got pushed back to one of the hospitals I work at, so that really helped out. But so that was just kind of my experience, just going from July 2020 to having it in February of 2021. It went by so fast. It really, you know, I know sometimes that, you know, taking that first step is the biggest time to do, you know, it's the biggest one. You don't have any, you don't know, and that's the thing, you're not going to know until you go and do it.